3, 2, 1.
Go. Let's go.
Episode 2.
Finally, we're back.
Tea and Tales.
I know you missed us. We are back with Varun. I'm Saurabh.
And I'm Flavio.
And our guest today is kind of nervous. He's afraid that he'll say lots of illegal things. Don't worry. Introduce yourself, Varun. Don't incriminate yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Varun Bansal and my mom is calling, so I think we
That's all right.
might have to pause the recording at this moment.
Yeah.
Bansi's back.
Varun is back from calling his
How's mom?
Mom is good. Yeah, she was just checking up on me. I haven't talked to her, recently because there's some Indian festival going on at the moment, and
Which one?
it's Navratri. You wouldn't know. It kind of coincides with Ramadan as well. And
Okay.
The principles are a bit similar, where you fast for 9 days, and it's people preference. They wanna fast for like whatever days they want to on it for it. So the cultures are very similar, and they're doing the same thing for God.
Yeah.
It's in the celebration.
And is it like in the morning you start fasting, or is it 9 days straight, no food?
Yeah, how does it work?
Yeah, is it according to sunsets like Ramadan, or?
Yeah, it's according to sunsets as well. You start in the morning. So in the daytime when sun is out, you do not eat. But then you're allowed to eat like once the sun sets.
Okay.
So
Okay.
similar stuff.
Yeah.
I think with fasting for religion, it's almost the same thing. So that's when my mom was calling and saying that, she has to go to the temple, after an hour, so she could talk right now. But, since we were doing this with these two expats who lived in UK from last 15 years, calling themselves expats.
Professional expats.
Sure.
We're reclaiming the term expat.
Yeah.
I don't really like that we can't use it. So from now on, we're expats, boys.
Expat boys.
Expat boys.
If you want, maybe give us a bit of an introduction about yourself, where you've come from, a bit about your journey.
So I was born and raised in India.
Very interesting place, by the way.
And thank you. Yeah, it is actually interesting. One of the most planned cities of India, laid down by a French architect after India got independent.
Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting place. And my good friend Flavio been over there for 3 days. He just loved the butter chicken over there.
Yeah, it was. It's probably. I've been to India 3 times last year. I've never been there before. So I went to Chandigarh, Hyderabad, and Lucknow, and I would say that Chandigarh is my favorite place. If I had to pick a place to live, it would be Chandigarh.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Varun lives in the equivalent of Kensington Palace Gardens. Of, Chandigarh.
By the way, the famous chairs that like have become super, super popular on social media. The Chandigarh chairs.
Kardashians have, right?
Yeah. Literally, you were saying about your dad.
Yeah, we still have it actually. That's like prized possession. So anyone wants to, get it, let me know.
Yeah, we're going into illegal territory here now.
Hey, I think export of those chairs, which is, my family's personal property, is perfectly legal. There's no illegal.
Also, obviously, people realized that those chairs were super valuable, and they were like basically stealing it from these warehouses where they was just dumped, and they were stealing it and bringing it on, and then everyone was like, "Wait, you can't do that."
Yeah, no, it's interesting, but those are like good heritage chairs, which I grew up with, and till the time you actually pointed out on the TikTok trend of
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was actually that big of a deal. But it's good. It's good. Yeah, so Chandigarh, very good place to, live, retire, stay.
Yeah.
Not a metro.
You were saying, so you were born in India, Chandigarh, and then you kind of moved from there to
Atlanta, United States. my siblings, after their graduation, they moved to US. My parents wanted me to, go and experience the Western world as well. So after my graduation as an engineer, I moved to United States for further studies. So it was pretty good experience, getting.
And was the reason you moved because your parents wanted and your siblings were there? Kind of, it was the next step for you after graduating.
No, not really. I mean, my father.
Because you're the youngest out of your siblings. So.
Yeah, so there was no pressure that I need to be there.
Yeah.
But I started doing law studies since my dad is a lawyer in India. So I did 1 year of law studies. Actually.
Is that in between after your bachelor degree, you did 1 year of law studies?
Yeah, so after graduating, I did 1 year of law degree, but then at the same time, I was looking for scholarships as well. Being from India and going to these Western countries, the fee structure which you need to
pay
to be there and to have those further studies is very expensive. And I was of the belief that now you have graduated, you need to see the ROI on going to Western countries and having studied there, how much debt you are going to get, once you graduate. Because it's not like India. I mean, India, the education is cheaper. That's why we have so many talented people from India, right? Who goes on further in tech industry or, even in different areas.
Leaving, not just leaving, but also recruited into tech industry.
Yeah, just because, the cost of education is lesser than Western countries where, if you graduate, and, I can talk about America, don't know much about UK, but I'm assuming it's going to be similar that even if you are doing undergrad, you rack up somewhere around 60 to 80,000.
Yeah, it's expensive for locals, but it's even more expensive for international students. It's a different.
I think it's nearly double the fee for international and kind of a negotiable thing. Where
I don't know. I don't think it's regulated.
That's per university.
Yeah. So there's something.
And as you said, the ROI is not super clear sometimes.
So my idea was to just take a year break and then find some scholarship so that I don't have to take that debt, kind of spend 5 to 6 years just paying that off.
Yeah.
To start working. So, fortunately, after that year, I did secure a scholarship and I went for a 2 years master's to Atlanta. So that was pretty good.
What was your experience of living in Atlanta?
Was that your first time being abroad?
Yeah.
No, since my siblings already were in United States, so I've been to Ohio and Pennsylvania, New York. I've been to those places even before getting to Atlanta.
Yeah.
When, I was 18 or 19. But yeah, by myself, living alone. Actually, no, even in my undergrad, I went for a 2 months internship in a cancer research facility in Atlanta.
Oh wow, okay.
Cool. So yeah, it was very, enlightening experience about how professional, fully funded Western lab works, which in India, we are always crunch on resources. And there's multiple challenges in India about funding. Yeah. So yeah, that was a very good experience. So that actually inspired me to go back and do a full master's over there where, I could actually improve my skills on research areas in biotechnology, surprisingly. That's what I was doing. So yeah, it was a very good experience. I got to Atlanta, my university was in the heart of downtown Atlanta, which is one of the most rough area. Yeah. Usher lives there. A lot of, good rappers are from that area.
Yeah.
A lot of big celebrities.
What was going from, Chandigarh, a very, very nice, safe area to somewhere like that? And the experiences of obviously the food is completely different. The people, the energy, what was that like?
But you did have Indian. When I met you, I felt like you had quite a lot of big Indian community around you as well.
So I built that over time. When I got there, I didn't know anyone, but when I was staying there, I made good relations with my flatmates, their friends, and then end up having a very big community. You was there right after I graduated, and that's where we met for the first time and became friends. That was back in 2015.
I was there for training, and I met Varun in the classroom.
Funny. But yeah, so Atlanta, it's a very interesting place. And, India and Atlanta, India and America is like poles apart. There's completely opposite. In India, I mean, I know people have a notion on, so many documentaries which kind of portrays India as a very dangerous place and, a lot of mishappenings happening over there. But me growing up in Chandigarh, that was very safe place, and you don't hear such a high crime rate in Chandigarh. But when I got to Atlanta, it's a bit rough, like especially the downtown area. Even my university used to send emails about somebody got mugged, shot or stabbed on the
That's
street.
rough.
It is a bit rough.
But in terms of if, maybe someone wanted to go to Atlanta, what are some good reasons to go there? Obviously, America has rough spots, has safe spots, but like, what are some good things about Atlanta?
What did you like about it?
What did you like? Obviously, for people who haven't been there, what would you recommend? What was it like?
Atlanta is a very upcoming place from,
No,
last
your
few years.
experience, I mean.
And my experience over there was they got like very beautiful, like scenic, surroundings. So the mountains are an hour away, and they got like a lot of trekking trails and a lot of nature around it. Like if you go a little bit out of like Atlanta downtown, they got very good trails, hiking places, rivers. It's one of the most sought after places to shoot a lot of new shows. I mean, Breaking Bad was actually shot in my university, even Fast and Furious, and a lot of movies are shot over there as well. And the whole like 2-3 seasons of Breaking Bad. What's that zombie one?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, that one. So that was shot over there. Yeah. So about food.
Very different from India.
But they got like some of the best barbecue places over there. Wow. Best ones, yeah. And even like buttermilk fried chicken. So that's from there. I remember like me and Flavio waited for, you remember that singer's restaurant?
Gladys Knight chicken and waffle.
Night. Yeah, so we ended up waiting for like 2 hours just in the queue to get that waffle and buttermilk chicken. That was crazy. So different food. I did miss Indian food over there, but we do have some upcoming Indian restaurants. But you won't get the same experience as what you get back home, right?
Yeah. It's more catered for. I remember. I mean, me and you used to go to lunchtime Indian buffet. And it was just
I think we went once probably or twice
in 1 month.
I'm not a big fan of buffets. I feel like the quality is lower. I'm more a la carte sort of guy.
Yeah.
So that was good. And then if you talk about recommendations, so Coca-Cola home is Atlanta, so that's pretty good. And then the aquarium and there's a lot of things to do over there.
Good places to go out. Atlanta is party city, right?
Yeah, Atlanta
as far as I've heard.
There's a lot of spots to
Great Koreatown also.
Koreatown,
the K-Town.
The K-Town. So they got like a very diverse population, and then even if you look at like online, there is a diversity chart of Atlanta, and you will see how like there are pockets of like people from different culture living over there. So it's pretty good. It's an interesting place. It's just the problem in Atlanta is not even Atlanta, probably for the whole US, is that their transport system is a bit different where you have to take a car everywhere, which in London you guys are not used to.
No, I can cycle.
I thought you didn't like cycling.
No, I don't, but I'll get a Lime bike.
Don't get a Lime bike in downtown Atlanta.
You might not make it out.
One time I did I went there in 2016 and I stayed in downtown,
Yeah.
right near the house of Martin Luther King, which is like a museum, I guess.
Yeah.
And I walked because I had no idea. I'm just
Yeah.
being stupid. I walked from downtown all the way to Midtown
Yeah.
to meet Varun and his friend. And I think Varun was like, your friend was like, you did what? I was fine. I think everyone else was they were like, I was the only one walking. Nobody walks in Atlanta.
That's one of the things I missed in America, and I loved when I moved out of America as well. That you can walk safely and freely on the road, and you're not worried about somebody's going to muck you or
Yeah.
Probably shooting is a bit extreme, but any mishappening happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess following on to that, is that a reason why you left London? Oh, you left Atlanta and you came to London.
Yeah, what was your journey like?
Yeah, what was the journey? What was the reason?
Yeah, well, there were multiple reasons why
Yeah.
I left United States and moved to England, but the most important one was my parents, in India. So my siblings live in US,
Yeah.
and we always asked them to move to US, but then they refused. They just said that they like in India.
Yeah, of course.
And to come back from US to India, it used to be a very long journey, and you have to plan accordingly. It's a 1-day commute altogether. From home to home, it used to take minimum 24 hours.
Yeah.
So that's why the biggest motivation was to be closer to my parents and
That's fair.
visit them quite often,
Yeah.
which I actually did. That was very helpful, and that was the biggest driver of why I wanted to move to
London.
London. Yeah, another thing was more I think when I met Flavio, he told me certain things about England and how.
He lied.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I said the weather is great. It's sunny every
The
day.
weather is great, the food.
But there's many
everything.
opportunities. I think that's what I said.
I think in US the opportunities
I was
are
there.
also there, but
Probably more.
It was more about
But
the
you can't get butter chicken as good as you can get here.
That is true. That is
The
true.
Indian food
Well,
there is-
you
Indian
can't-
food in London, probably best outside of India, would you say?
Kush. I haven't tried every place in the world. But
Whoa, that's very
yeah.
diplomatic.
Even Flavio tried, Indian food in India, and he knows, the quality is a bit different.
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but outside of India.
I think London is one of the best places because of the Indian community over
yeah.
here, and then they, as the time progressing, they are opening new and new stores over here. Restaurants
Yeah.
for Indian food. So the quality is improving massively, and they are trying to get close to the real Indian food as much as they can. So it's brilliant.
So it's interesting because for a lot of people, you think that a lot of the curries available in the UK, like tikka masala, etc., are kind of uniquely or authentically Indian, whereas they're not really, and they're more UK things that you can't find really in India. Those kind of foods, those kind of curries.
No, they are Indian.
Yeah.
They are authentic in their, ways,
Yeah.
but they are not the same thing as what you get in India.
Yeah.
It's just it's always a difference of it needs to be catered to the Western world and not the Indian world.
Yeah,
It's the way the spices
And your palate
are.
is kind of authentic palate.
Well, I kind of changed that. But yes, I would prefer those spices.
I guess maybe it's also the availability of spices that you can get in India that you can't find here.
Yeah, 100%. Even the freshness and the way the spices are grinded there, and how they are harvested is completely different than in UK. The market in UK for spices is a bit shorter than in India.
Yeah.
And because India has a huge one, and from Afghanistan, even from Middle East, a lot of spices are being exported there.
Yeah,
India.
for spices, it's probably the biggest buyers of spices in the world, India. Because obviously they use everywhere.
Yeah.
I think there's also a lot of shortcut. I mean, not that I'm an expert in this, but I've been told that if you go to an Indian
Butter
restaurant,
chicken expert.
yeah, butter chicken expert, but a lot of the curries have quite similar base in the UK. But if you go to India and you order a butter chicken and you order something else, completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different. Right. So back to what we were talking about. Why did you? What actually like? What did I tell you that was so compelling that you moved here? Except for the fact that it's closer to your parents' place, because you had quite a good job, getting quite a good salary compared to the UK salaries. I think I would say in the US tech salaries
They are,
usually
yeah.
pay a lot more.
Double.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did you come?
Yeah, the weather is better, the food is better, but
No, the real reason is I think London is such a diverse metro that the opportunities are way more than Atlanta, and also I was thinking like long term that being an Indian, you will feel more closer to home, and celebrating a lot of
Yeah. Culturally diverse, yeah.
Indian cultures over
Yeah.
here. So I think London, just because of the Indian community, they have a lot more things to appreciate about of Indian culture. So I just wanted to be closer to home, feel like I'm not missing out on things which I used to experience back home, and have enough opportunity, and also like a path to probably like stay in the Western countries longer.
Yeah.
Right, if you look at US, it takes 20 to 30 years to be
Green card.
a green card and a passport holder over there. In England, it's a bit lesser,
Yeah.
but the laws are changing now. So I'm talking 5-6 years ago was a bit easier. Now after COVID, things are changing.
And Brexit.
After Brexit as well, yes, exactly. Things are changing radically, and then they are making it a bit more difficult. So that what motivated me to move, and also there's so much sports opportunities over here as well. Where
Because you play cricket, right?
I've played cricket.
Not a thing in the US.
No, I mean, a funny thing, in US, we used to play cricket on a baseball field.
Oh, really?
Because they didn't have any proper cricket grounds.
yeah.
But I think US is now realizing that they are missing out on the opportunity. So next Cricket World Cup is actually going to happen in the United States.
No way.
Yeah, so...
Does the US have a cricket team?
No, so they are
Just getting that ad money.
Yeah, no, they're enticing a lot of Indian cricketers to actually move over there.
Oh, cool.
And paying them very well.
Wow.
So
Are there local teams that are starting up, like Chennai Knights?
Yeah, so they are forming clubs now.
Wow. Okay.
And they are paying very well to a lot of cricketers around the world to move there and settle there and play for these clubs.
Kind of like what Saudi Arabia is doing with football.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, cricket is picking up more and more now around the world because of such a big fan base. Not as big as football.
Never.
And I'm talking about soccer, not the American football.
Yeah.
So that's why, that's also motivated me to be here. Now me and Saurabh plays every Tuesday soccer together, which is
Football.
brilliant.
Yes.
Well, let's stick to football, right?
Football.
Yeah.
Let's use the correct terminologies. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's called football
Yeah.
because you use your feet.
Shout out to our Tuesday night football crew.
Yeah. Shout out to them. They love that. Love actually. I do look forward to the Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's such a good vibe. 1 hour. That's it.
And then the socials.
And then the socials after.
Heavy drinking. The pub community as well.
So I guess you moved to London. What are some things that are new that you experienced, including pop culture that Flavia mentioned? Is that something? I mean, obviously, US doesn't have it. India, I'm not sure. Does India have something like that?
No,
Really?
India doesn't have, big pub culture. I mean, pub is a very English thing, I think.
It's
Yeah.
a great invention, I think,
Yeah.
because you always have a place to go and hang out.
It's true. The local pub.
Funny
Pub on
thing,
every corner.
yeah.
funny thing, when I was doing my exam for life in UK, there's a question on pubs and the timing they are open.
Yeah.
And then, why they are so essential to you English people. And I was
Really?
like, wow.
Oh,
And that actually came as a question in the exam itself.
Really?
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because in India, not to diverse too much, but if you can tell one thing I saw when I went to Hyderabad, when I went to Chandigarh, was where do people go to drink? And it's like in the car. So maybe you can quickly 30 seconds about the car drinking.
Yeah, so we...
It's fascinating.
So
Don't incriminate
Flavio
yourself.
is very impressed with that culture because, it's not common to do in any Western country, right?
No.
Where we call in India something as car-o-bar. So-
Karo bar.
So it's and it's a pun. So karobar in Hindi
Yeah.
means work.
Karobar.
Karobar.
That's as Farsi as.
So
That's amazing.
and then what we call drinking in the car is car-o-bar as
Fascinating.
well. Yeah, so it's
That's so
brilliant. And when Flavio was there, every evening what we did was a car-o-bar. So Flavio was like, wow.
I remember you said you were in Chandigarh. I don't think Flavio was there, but you sent me a picture of you guys drinking in your car, but there was a freaking shisha there as well with the front row seat. I was like, what the heck? This is the best.
So Indian people are, always innovating and looking for
Yeah.
big thing. So
That
you
could
know,
be it.
it's such a new culture now, but now there are places which actually gives you shisha in the car
No way.
with with the drinks and food. So literally you don't have to go to a pub to go sit and then have food
that's very
and
cool.
drinks and
Yeah, the car is like a socializing place. Basically.
Yeah, it's like those American drive-in cinemas, but instead of watching a movie, you get a shisha and a drink.
And you're still driving.
And it's like-
So
Yeah.
I mean, you get the best of everything.
Yeah.
You change your scenery every minute the way you want. Then you put the music however you like, and then you enjoy the
You're in
best.
full control.
Exactly, and you enjoy the best food around the whole
Yeah, of
city.
course.
Yeah, you're literally like, let's go get some chicken in this place, and then let's
We
go
need to
this
bring
place.
that to London.
Yeah. So, so pubs, I guess, is equivalent of a karo bar in India.
Yeah, exactly.
And what else do you love about London?
Yeah.
The food is great over here. So since you guys have a very diverse community over here, so food from different places around the world is brilliant. The Chinatown is great. Even the Korean food, the Japanese food, even Lebanese, Middle Eastern food is
very
very
good.
great over here as
The
well.
kebabs here are unreal.
So that's one.
Wood green.
Exactly.
Best kebab in the world.
That's true.
Sponsor.
Yeah, please, Wood Green, everyone. Wood Green Council would sponsor us? Who would sponsor us?
Wood Green, the community. We'll talk about
Yeah,
sponsorship.
well, yeah.
Just
Get
to
in
let
touch.
you know, Wood Green is an area in London.
Yeah,
So it's not a restaurant. If you're going
No,
to go
no.
look for a restaurant,
But you will find plenty of Turkish restaurants in Wood Green.
And there probably is a restaurant called Wood Green as well.
Probably. Wood Green Grill?
Yeah, Wood Green Express.
Something like that.
yeah, but nobody's sponsoring them, so
They sponsor us.
Just give us free kebab.
that would do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of diversity. I mean, I think Atlanta is also quite diverse, but London is more like. I mean, you've been to New York, right? Would you say New York is like London, or because it is in some ways similar, right? But
It's some way similar. It's it's a financial hub as well. A lot of big tech companies out there,
Yeah.
but New York, I don't think it's similar to London in ways of security, walking.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
The blocks over there are so huge, like walking around that
Around
place
the block.
is not that easy.
yeah.
But in London, I walk in central London to every place. Like you just take a tube into central London, and then you can just walk to any place.
Yeah.
You don't do that in New York. It's way more cleaner in London and way more beautiful with the historic architecture around.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
There's
love
so much history in
seeing
London,
that,
isn't
yeah.
there?
So you can say in terms of financial
Importance, I guess.
yeah, it's similar, but otherwise, London has its own vibe. You can't
Yeah.
I think it sounds like London is almost more like Chandigarh than in the city.
Let's not
as in from a safety perspective, right? Because you can walk around Chandigarh, but you can't really walk around. I wouldn't walk around Delhi personally.
Oh yeah, no. It's safer, but I think London is one of the safest city in the world. As
I agree.
in terms of like cameras, in terms of shady people not being around. And then in terms of like you really enjoy the walks in London.
Yeah. Especially summers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when I got to UK, like I bought this book telling me, historic routes around London.
Oh shit.
Wow, it's very good. Like they talk about what this particular building used to be and what.
Do you have like a favorite one that you've done?
Yeah, so my favorite is around South Bank. So you start from Tate Modern, then you walk all the way from Tate Modern through Borough Market to
Tower Bridge,
and then you can do a loop, but you can keep going down if you want by the bank next to Thames, or you can turn around and go towards St. Paul's and that whole walk around the river. That's very good. Like take the Millennium Bridge probably back to.
And pubs everywhere, so you can stop for a drink as well.
Hydrate yourself.
Yeah, hydrate. Yeah.
Varun can drink for listeners.
If you live in London, you don't have to drink, but your time and your enjoyment will increase if you enjoy the pubs.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's very fun to drink in London or England than other places. Other places you are more worried about going back home. You have to. I mean, hopefully you're not drinking and driving because it's
illegal.
Totally illegal.
It's illegal,
Yeah,
guys.
In
exactly.
all the countries, so
Don't do
do
it.
not try that.
Yeah.
But in England,
Except for Cordobar.
yeah,
Question
except
is
that
Is that that
question mark.
It depends how much money you have in cash to bribe someone.
No bribery in India. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
come on, man. What are you talking about?
That's the fictional part of the show.
Yeah.
No bribery.
But yeah, I think in London, like you can really enjoy your evening and then take a tube back, and you will be fine. And nobody is trying to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And you won't. Well, the worst thing could happen is you can fall asleep and end up on the last station.
Yeah. You're like, oh no.
And then
I have to go back now.
Then you might have to take like 5 buses to
Yeah.
get back.
That is true. That is true. Once the main tube lines close,
You could be anywhere.
there is at least 3 buses you're getting on before you get home.
And the night buses.
Yeah.
It sounds like safety is like a big thing then for you.
Yes.
As in, you mentioned it a couple of times now. Like you feel at ease when you're here, right? Compared to the States.
Safety is an important issue for me because I don't want to die walking on the street.
Fair enough. Legit.
Or just sitting and minding my
Yeah,
own business and then something happens. No, I don't want to be in that spot. Like I want to die, like for the right reason. But it's more like on everyday basis. You want to achieve something, right? And I think if some mishaps happening where you just like at the wrong place at the wrong time,
Yeah.
and the chances are very high, then you don't want to be in that place like all together.
Yeah. And it's something that doesn't really happen in London. Like
No.
you can't be the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, there are few shady
Yeah.
spots, but then it's not as bad as
Yeah.
Flavio
Even-
walking through downtown Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. Even by shady standards, it's not really that shady.
Just don't walk with your phone in your hand, because I've seen people
Oh yeah,
get mugged a few
yeah.
times.
My
Not mugging, but yeah.
3 weeks ago
you
now,
know.
my niece got her phone stolen just walking down Baker Street.
No way.
Yeah.
Even I think day before yesterday, I was walking on Oxford Street, and I saw a guy on the electric bike.
Yeah.
Driving, biking on the footpath, the walkway, and then suddenly tried to grab someone's
No
phone.
way.
And the guy somehow saved his phone, and the thief just literally turn up the nozzle there, and then just
Nos.
flew over.
There was this interview I watched recently of they were interviewing the bike thieves.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they were just ripping into people walking with their phones out and just calling them idiots, basically. Like, oh, why are you crossing the road with your phone in your hand? You should watch where you go. You deserve it. And I'm thinking, that's a bit odd. Maybe you shouldn't steal people's. Maybe you shouldn't steal people's phones. It doesn't matter what they do with their lives.
He's helping them be more.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing public service, really. It sounded like that.
Well, experience is the biggest teacher. Right?
Yeah, it's true. It's
teaching
true.
them
That's
really-
one.
I think people have their phone out in London, especially because there's so many things in central London where you're looking at some architecture.
Yeah.
You want to click a picture,
Especially as a
or-
tourist, right?
Yeah. And it's very easy targets for them. I wouldn't support that, but I think that's one of the problems. But that's the extent of what goes over here. Probably that.
You don't fully support it, but you see his point.
I mean, even just a disclaimer. My bike was stolen.
Oh yeah, it was after football actually.
London is becoming a very scary place as we go further into this conversation. Petty crime.
Petty
crime,
yeah,
right?
petty crime.
My level of tolerance is a bit higher than
After living in Atlanta.
exactly.
Yeah.
Where things can come to your life. I'm not really worried about somebody stealing my phone or my bike.
Yeah.
It's just more like materialistic thing. But
Yeah.
Your
life
life is
more
easy.
important.
So it's still about tourist. I mean, you had your family come around for the first time, right? I think. Where do you take people around then when people come to London?
Yeah, as a
you're a
local
bit of
now.
a London expert. You were trying to guide me around the other day.
No way. When did
turn
that
left.
happen?
Turn left, yeah, turn right.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
we were
you-
going to my house, by the way, so I knew exactly what to do. But anyways, let's go. Let's not get diverted. Let's. Where do you take them? Where do you take your friends and the family who visit London?
Oh, recommendations.
What's recommendations for you?
Well, not like super typical, like go to the London Eye. But like,
No,
yeah.
Change of guards at Buckingham Palace.
Funny thing, I've never been actually to London. I mean, I have walked past it.
Yeah,
multiple
not
times,
on
but
it.
never on it.
Same.
Fair
I've
enough.
never been either.
I have.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, in uni they gave us a free ride, and I was like, all right, I guess I have to go now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of those if it,
I've taken people near to the London Eye, and I was like, I'm gonna get an ice cream. I'll just wait for you.
you go up.
Yeah, you go up. So where do you go?
Yeah.
So and even I never saw the guards changing at Buckingham Palace either. So I haven't done all these super touristic stuff, but I usually take them to great restaurants over here. Some of the good Indian restaurants which has been there from forever, like Brigadier's. Dish.
Yeah. Do you have some recommendations for like Indian spots? That,
Hashtag sponsor.
yeah.
I think it's very pertaining to your own palate.
Yeah. But for you, for example.
For me, I mean, I usually go to Brigadier's. We order from Dishium because to get into that place, there's a long queue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
By the way, Dishum breakfast, they give unlimited chai, which
yeah.
is very, very
Is
good.
it
Tea and
like-
Tales will be hosted there next time.
Yeah, actually.
We haven't had any tea today, actually, but we have coffee. We'll get some tea afterwards.
Yeah, we'll have tea. And also, Dishum would be a perfect sponsor of this
Yeah.
with unlimited chai.
Oh yeah,
But
and they,
Varun makes great chai too, so you know.
Next time.
thank you. Yeah,
We have to. Yeah, next time we have to see which one is better.
Yeah, I mean, I love their chai as well. Whenever I'm there, that's the first thing I order. Like, because once you get to Dishum, you have to wait a bit,
Yes.
and you can go to the bar and order chai and like
Just wait there.
just wait there, just
Yeah,
chill.
it's such a nice vibe.
It is. So that's one of the places I would recommend. And they do a lot of like shows as well, like in the evening
Oh,
during dinner
I
time.
didn't know that.
no, never been to
Okay.
dinner.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always a long queue for dinner.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I-
I've never.
it is a bit of a
It's
fight.
it's one of the few places in central London where there's a long queue, but it's also worth the food. I think
Yes, exactly.
waiting for it because it's really good.
Yeah, and I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, for
And Ippudo.
Ippudo,
Yeah.
Just putting that in. 'cause
And
I love
also,
ramen.
It's a ramen
you
place.
love. Recently, you've been an addict of Japanese curry, right? You go to
Ooh, katsukari.
Koko Ichibanya,
yeah,
right?
Ah.
That's your. That's
I love Japanese
Yes.
food. See, coming out of India, right, and I know my food palette, so I do want to have like best of the foods when I go out. I really want to enjoy it.
Mm.
But I'm out of the experimentation mode where, you know,
Right.
I have like it's a new place and I want to go try and then be disappointed. I don't like
Now you
doing
know
that.
what you like, and you just.
Yeah. So I stick to my like favorite spots, but then those are not particularly only Indian, right?
Mm.
yeah.
There are a lot of good ramen places, a lot of good Vietnamese places,
Yeah.
you know, even Chinese places.
Bubble tea. Another
the
newly
bubble
found
tea.
addiction.
You don't. Funny thing in India, bubble tea is not a big thing.
Business idea.
They are exactly. And
Chandigarh bubble tea.
They are just coming up, but then they still don't have the right skill set to actually make it brilliant as good as London.
Yeah.
So I think there are so many different foods which could be introduced in India, but Indian palate is a bit different where they love spices, which you don't find in like
You have
a lot of
to.
different foods.
I remember even in Sri Lanka. One time I took someone from my parents' town to McDonald's.
Yeah.
They'd never been to McDonald's, and they couldn't eat the burger. They're like, I can't eat this. There's no flavor to this. So yeah, it is true.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
they have like I'm sure. Do they have a McCurry burger in?
Yeah. It's Flavio when he was in India, right? He
But
was-
they have it
Yeah.
in Sri Lanka as well. But I'm sure in India there is also.
yeah. So we have
Specific palate. No,
Like-
fair enough though.
yeah, even with fast food we have a version,
Yeah.
like Indianized version of everything. So,
Yeah.
which you would not find it in like Western countries.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Then when I'm taking people out, a lot of bars, well, more pubs over here.
Mm.
You get like a lot of old, 19th century pubs around this area, and you don't find that around the world. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's one of the good places to take them, and
Yeah. Some of the pubs in London are like
Really?
400 years old.
yeah, exactly.
You don't even realize you go in and like, oh,
Yeah.
this is really old.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Vodka tonic, please.
Vodka. Yeah.
that's the experience of what I believe people are looking for.
When they come here.
Yeah, when they come here, it's not like America was built by immigrants
Yeah.
when they got there, but they don't have they have history and culture, but
It's everyone.
it's everyone
mixed,
who
yeah.
got there, took their culture with
Yeah.
them, and then history is what they built after, right? With London, with England, it's like it's been there from forever, and they
Yeah.
rule the world, right? So one of the greatest nations back in the days and still as well, right?
Yeah.
So when people are here, they want to see that history, they want to experience that history. So when somebody's visiting me and I'm showing them around, it's more about all these different architectures, all these old pubs and restaurants, and all the great food of different countries, cultures you can get over here. So that's what I usually do.
And
rooftop bars. I
a
mean,
lot of rooftop bars.
Yeah, a lot of rooftop bars.
which is actually quite a new thing for London. Because when we were growing up, me and Flavio,
in uni,
in uni time, there wasn't really a thing. But I think, especially after COVID, with outdoors, a lot of people, a lot of companies, I guess, started rooftop bars, and it's become a big thing.
Even you, Varun, you've had a rooftop barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
for your
Oh,
birthday.
yeah.
And
Very
one
good.
You see my annual barbecue and birthday barbecue.
Please message us if you want an invite.
Yeah.
Because what I was impressed, you've only been in the country for a year. Maybe it was like a year after COVID, whatever it was, but there was so many different types of people. I never seen, even though I've lived abroad all my life and in London as well for a long time, there was all kinds of like you, in a good way.
Yeah.
You managed to make friends with everyone, which was very impressive. But that's the beauty of London, I guess, right? You can, you meet, if you put yourself out there, you can really meet people from different type of background.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my skill set to get along with, anyone and bring people together. One of our good friends, Doug, he mentioned that, when I look at you, I feel the skill set is, you can get along with anyone actually. So I think that's what you experience over there. And even like you remember like back in Atlanta when we celebrated your birthday.
Oh God.
And there were like so many people and you knew like what, 2 or 3, and then there were like 20 other people.
But in Atlanta, your friends, most of the ones that I met, you had a big Indian community. In here, you still have that, but you have also many friends from other. You got Chinese friends, British friends. In Atlanta, when I came to your party, there was a lot of Indians. I'm not saying you didn't have any other friends, but I feel like in the UK, your friend group is very diverse. Like who you hang out with on.
I think that's the beauty
basis.
of London as well. You get to, as you said, London is very diverse, so you get to interact with across different cultures. Whereas if you go to small places, you find your own culture and you expand from that. Whereas here, you not only can hang out with your culture, but literally anyone else from anywhere on the planet.
Yeah, there's another reason over there is, in Atlanta, in America, you have to drive everywhere. So, you go to like specific spots in
That's
London.
a good point.
Everyone is working in central London, so you can just catch up for lunch or just be there for a drink after work. That's not a culture in America. I mean, people, because they're driving, they just go to from one place to another, and they just want to do the thing they're out for and then just go back. Like, it's not really like,
after work drinks, let's catch up at a pub.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's just a cultural difference. But for me, I think London is the best place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me, I've traveled around a lot of countries and cities around the world, and I think I really love London. Just because, firstly, you guys are here, so, I got a very good friend group and, support system on whom I can rely on. Then food is great.
Yeah.
Safety, even like, if you want to go for further education, that's brilliant as well.
Yeah.
A lot of greenery around, a lot of opportunities to play sports and, gyms around. So I think it's if I look as an expat,
yes.
Towards London, it is the complete place. Just that it's a bit expensive.
Yeah.
Well, one of the most expensive cities in the world.
In terms of, and you touched on being expat, coming from India or leaving your home country, coming to Atlanta and then London, what are some things you learned? What are some like high level things you experienced and learned and took away from the experience of being an expat?
I think it's one of the biggest thing is always your integration into the local society. So if you're an expat, you will your inclination is going to be towards more expats, right?
Yes.
And your people's maybe even more.
I don't believe on the concept of your people. It eventually
Well, that's you,
happens
yeah.
because, that's just personal opinion. That's just me.
Yeah.
But it usually happens that you click with them easily because they understand the culture, right? That's one of the biggest thing which I faced in America as well, where if people are not traveled enough, or if they haven't experienced Indian culture, they will not be able to understand my humor the things I associate with or what is important to me. So you end up kind of making more friends from similar countries.
Of course, yeah. Because you have
where
things
you're
in
from.
common, you
Yeah.
can share jokes and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in London, it was way more easier because they have such a big community of expats.
Yeah.
That
Everyone pretty much is an expat in London.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even non-expat expat, but people from the UK who come into London,
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
mixing pot.
literally.
Yeah, exactly.
It really feels like even if you're really from England but not London, you're still an expat to London. Like your experience is you're still an expat.
It's like a city-state, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's why everyone is on the similar journey in London.
Yeah.
They
That's the beauty of
want
it.
to- yeah. That's the best part, which is not same in America because you kind of going in and living in their city or locality, and then they've been there from forever, so they will be like, why is this expat outsider over here?
Yeah.
In London, everyone is expat, so that's why they're like, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's
makes
another
sense.
person.
Yeah.
I think so I think London is, in my opinion, being an Indian is the best place to be expat, and very easy to integrate in the culture and enjoy the similar stuff which you have back home.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. In terms of what do you miss from living in India? Obviously, being an expat is great, and you've done all those things. But what are some things you miss? What are some things you do because you go back quite often to India? What are some things that you're like, oh, shit?
The biggest thing I miss is my mom's cooking.
That's
Yes.
good.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, the food over there is brilliant, and the food you grew up eating, you always miss that.
Yeah.
Once you move out of your
Mom's food hits
house.
differently.
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
I think your friends you grew up with as well.
Yeah.
They are different because when you are very young, you make friendships without any reasons, or there's no intent.
No.
Just because in the
Just
same
you
class.
school
That's how.
right together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you too. I mean, you two met the same way, right?
Yeah.
So that's
High
why
school.
those people you grew up. I mean, with you two, we are brothers as well.
Yes.
But it's. I mean, now it's a bit same, but the people you grew up with
Takes time.
takes time. Yeah, I mean, we now know each other. At least me and Flavio from 9 years, and me and you from 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, we are getting there, but the people you spend 10, 12 years in the same class, it's a bit different,
Yeah,
right?
you still have friends over there.
Do you feel, and Flavio, you've experienced this as well with being, I mean, I have as well, but do you feel like the people you grew up with in India, school friends, etc., because you became an expat, you kind of, when you go back, you're on different paths, or do you just pick up where you left off and it doesn't feel like you've ever left?
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. We are on different paths now. I mean, their world is completely different than mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking about traveling around the world. They're thinking about, having a stable business and a stable family where, having more kids. So it's completely different. The outlook of life is very different now. But then what, brings us together is that bond which we forged years ago.
Yeah.
Without any, personal intent or I'm going to be his friend because of XYZ reason. or something.
Yeah, you meet up and after a couple of hours, it's like you never left. And it's not just the guys there. It's also, I mean, many of your friends are also abroad, right? And when you meet up everyone together is just like one karaoke session and that's it.
That's it. You're back
in the
at
session.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like you never left.
Exactly, yeah. So that's one of the big things which I miss is the friends and
Mom's cooking.
mom's cooking.
Say something nice about your dad.
My dad is brilliant.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You just can't operate in the kitchen.
Dad, you need to start learn how to cook.
I've eaten Varun's mum's food for breakfast.
Good stuff.
I think a lot of ghee. It was
Ooh.
delicious. I came back with about 5 kg, but I was happier too.
You know what? The ghee is becoming the shit now to cook with. So
it's,
there we go.
yeah, people
all
are
the Americans
realizing
are-
like how
Yeah.
important it is to
Eat natural.
and natural.
Yeah.
It's homemade ghee, right? Your mum makes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, even with that, just on a side note, I do miss my dad a lot
Yeah.
as well. It's, now we talk about like business and, a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Career.
And he also, tells me to settle down as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
which is one of his biggest things.
Yeah.
Why are you not settling down? Why do you keep on like jumping around the world? What was going on over here?
That's such a dad move.
It is.
Does your mom then give you the opposite? Like, oh, just enjoy life. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good comeback.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I miss them a lot, and
Yeah.
I think I just go back quite often just
That's
to
good.
Yeah.
just to be connected to my roots.
Easy access. Yeah.
Easy
Easy to get
access.
to.
Yeah, and the location of England is so good. Like at least in my world, where
Yeah.
India is equidistant from US, so if I have to go see my siblings,
You
can hop on a plane. In either direction is the
Yeah.
same time to
You're
go see my family.
you're bang in the middle now to get to both states to see your brother and sister, but also go to your parents, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I enjoy that. I mean, yeah, I do miss family. I think being an expat
That's
and
the
real
toughest thing.
expat where your family is not
No.
in the same
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very beneficial to be in London and just go back home easily.
Awesome.
Great. So number
Flavian's rushing us to.
no, not rushing. I'm unfortunately I've been
It's-
assigned to be the tech guy today.
It's a very Flavio thing.
I keep having to.
Flavia is slightly.
I'm OCD.
Slightly. He's like, guys, we have a timeline.
I'm just hoping that we do actually.
Get a
This is
sponsor
being
soon.
this is being
What?
recorded at the moment.
Yeah.
And-
Imagine.
Yeah.
No, I think you cannot ever, being an expat, you
Yeah.
cannot ever say that you will not miss home.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
You
yeah.
will always miss home. I mean, for you guys as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. For me, yeah, like you said, kind of fake expat. But if I look at my parents, my dad has been out of the country since the late 80s, but he's always has this burning desire to go back home.
Yeah.
Maybe less than my mom, she's happy with the kids, but with my dad, same as Saurabh's father as well.
Yeah. 100%.
If you ask
He's in
where they're
Afghanistan
from-
right now.
Yeah, exactly. And my dad's maybe not recently, but he loves to go to Sri Lanka, so
Yeah.
that always comes back.
The roots pull on you.
Yeah, probably different from us now because we're growing up in a very multicultural place. But yeah, the desire for home is always there.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's amplified like if you're by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So for me, it's like tenfold.
Even more.
'Cause your
Same,
parents.
exactly same
You
as
have
your
us.
fathers maybe, where like, yeah, your home is there, but you feel home is where you grew up.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
chill out. You know how
Absolutely.
to operate the system, right? You know Carabar is fine.
yeah.
If you try to do Carabar here, well, don't do it.
do
Don't
not
do
even
it.
try that. Do not even try that over.
Yeah, there's a level of freedom I think as well in India or Sri Lanka, Afghanistan. People,
Yeah. It's
In
your
your home,
people.
yeah.
It's your people.
yeah, they look like you, so you can get around.
Which is after a while when you leave. I mean, even my dad. Obviously, I was born in Afghanistan, but if I go back now, the moment I'm off the plane, they're like, "Yep, that guy is not local. That guy is."
we're
They know.
Funny thing when I
Is that with you as well, though?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a bit like I try to avoid that. So
Yeah.
when I'm back in India, right, I never speak in English. It's
Okay.
always
Yeah.
pure Hindi.
Yeah. Otherwise, they catch on.
The accent will come out.
yeah. Tripled.
Exactly. Yeah. So It's always different to go back, but you always
Yeah.
want to go back.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's what home is.
Yeah.
I mean, people do ask me this question: what is home for you?
Mm.
And I would actually like to ask this question to you two guys as well. So Saurabh, what is home for you?
Home to me, at least for well, I left Afghanistan when I was quite young. It's where my parents and my siblings are. So London at the moment, it's one of the only places that I've ever been to where I felt that I belonged. Because everywhere else that I've lived, and I've lived in a whole bunch of other places, I didn't feel that way. But yeah, London at the moment.
Yeah, same here as well. I mean, I lived in Italy as well for a long time, half of my life, and when I was maybe in Italy, I didn't feel like that was my home, even though that's where my parents were. But in London, I do feel like this is where I'm from. Like, this is my place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like not to talk about too in depth about Italy or any other non-UK European countries, but I think in London you can, you
That's
can
the
say I'm
beauty of
from
London.
London and I'm from here. And
You can become from London very
quite
quickly.
quickly.
Yeah, that's the
we
beauty of it.
interviewed Lewis last week, and he
Yeah.
loves it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his home.
He
He even likes the
London
weather.
and,
He even likes the
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah, he even likes the weather.
Even like-
Crazy. No, it's all right. It's sunny today, so that's good.
Yeah, that's what
Positive.
that's why we're all happy.
Yeah. High energy today.
Yeah,
All right.
For me, I think home is still India,
Yeah.
but I do feel at home in London as well.
More than Atlanta.
More than Atlanta.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can agree with you guys that
Yeah.
when you move to London, you do feel like home over here.
Yeah.
So I think it's best place to be.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
there you go, guys. London, a home away from home.
Yes. City Khan, sponsor us.
Sponsor us. Thank you, Varun.
Thank you, Varun.
Time to go to the pub now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's-
Local pub.
we talked about it.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here, guys.
Yeah,
I
this
really
was-
enjoyed it.
Thanks for
Yeah. This was T's and Tails.
Tea and tails.
Not T's. T and Tails.
Oh.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.